This video is not going to do very well. You know why? YouTube has changed. It has become overwhelmed with content and all the AI slop. You will never get AI slop from me. But my channel is not growing anymore. It's slowing way down because of the overwhelming content flooding of YouTube. The only way my channel will grow is if you guys help me. Pass it on, like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Now, let's go on to my video. I think you're going to like this one. Today, I want to teach you something about trees. I'm going to take you on a hike. I'm going to take you on a hike into a redwood forest with a creek, but I really want to teach you something about the forest and about the individual trees. What I want you to pay attention to today are the unique differences in the trees that we're going to be looking at. Most people look at a tree and they say, yeah, that's a tree. I look at a tree and I see a unique individual tree. And you can have 100 of the same species and every single one of them will be different. I find that fascinating. So where I'm taking you today is going to be a redwood forest. And I want to talk a little bit about the history of this area, how it was logged at one time, and how the new trees came back as a result of the ability of some species, the redwood, to reform themselves, re-establish themselves. And I think you're going to be surprised by a few of the things that you find. Let's go for a walk in the woods. Water. Let's first talk about the environment that a redwood tree grows in. What type of environment is conducive to redwood growth? Well, redwood trees like it wet. They need a lot of water. They grow at an elevation between, say, about 1,000 feet up to maybe a high elevation of 2,200 feet or so. There are exceptions. Look at this. I find this absolutely amazing. This individual tree is growing in a creek, and the water levels in this creek sometimes are raging through here, and they've exposed this huge root that is just floating out there above the creek. This time of year, the creek is very, very small. But there are so many things to discover if you go out and you have your eyes open and are aware. The trees in this small forest were all logged over 100 years ago, about the turn of the century. The bridge down there was built in 1903, so I think that most of the logging must have been done in the earliest of the 1900s. Look at that. Aerial roots. The old stump from this redwood tree has all but rotted away, but the new tree that's grown has aerial roots, and if you look closely way up there, oh my goodness, that is so amazing. Look at those roots. That's definitely a male tree. Sorry about that. Anyway, the trees that are growing out here are often growing off of the old root system of a tree that was cut down. This particular tree is being supported by yet another tree. It's not a redwood, it's a maple tree, but look at that. I find that fascinating. I'm looking at this tree and I'm saying to myself, why are these trees standing? They must have a lot of roots on the uphill side. And look at this old stump that was cut down over 100 years ago. Water. Without the water, these trees do not grow well at all. They can do it. They can grow in drier environments, and we use them as ornamental trees in our landscapes quite often. And if you have a wetter, irrigated landscape, the redwood tree can grow absolutely enormous in someone's backyard. Look at this old stump. If you look closely at some of these stumps, once in a while you'll find a cutout where they put a springboard because the base of these trees, these old ones, were a bit fatter than they wanted to cut with a misery whip. That's a two-man handsaw. This creek down here at one time was developed for a sawmill, and this area right here was likely where they had a water wheel to power the sawmill. And if you look closely, you can see a little slot, a little metal slot, where they put boards in there to dam up the creek. Look at that. This is an old madrone tree. I'm fascinated. People just walk right by these things, but when I see something like this, I don't know why this tree is standing. It's hollow all the way through. It is a magnificent giant. And if you walk around the base of the tree, you see all kinds of areas of decay, of openings, of voids, but there's also a lot of healthy tissue. So I have to ask myself, how long will this tree last? And I'll be honest with you, I've been coming up here for over 35 years, and that tree is still going. And look at that vine. Can any of you tell me what kind of a vine that is? Look at how high it goes. It goes clear up to the very tip top of this giant redwood. Don't want to cut that vine. That's poison oak. Nasty stuff. If you're on the East Coast, you've got poison ivy. Out on the West Coast, we have poison oak. They both have the same chemical in them that causes a rash. Amazingly, some people are resistant to it. I get it, but I don't get it so bad that I worry about it, and it's usually gone in a couple of days. Look at that. There are two fir trees that had a branch that grew up and touched each other, and over time, that branch grafted itself to the other tree. So these trees have grown together. They're sharing the same water, the same supply, and they've become one. You've really got to pay attention when you go out in the woods. There's so many things that you can discover if you keep your eyes open. And don't just walk along haphazardly and say, oh, this is a forest. These are nice big trees. Look at that old stump. Wow. Hope you enjoyed this little walk in the woods with me. And next time you go out in the forest, think differently. Look at the trees as individual species, individual trees. While you're out there in the woods, try really hard to find the peace that we are missing so badly in our lives, living down there in the city. The people and the congestion and the traffic and the constant anxiety of being overwhelmed with life. Get away from it. Go out to the woods. Find your peace.